Hello, galactic travelers, my cosmic friends. Oh, welcome to the Galactic Travelers Tavern. I'll be Cosmic Christy, joining you today. I'm being silly. I got a lot of crazy activations and wow stuff going on in my chart today, so bear with me. My energy's high though. I want to talk about synchronicities today. I was reminded today to talk about these through synchronicities, of course. And okay, so all of us know, the synchronicities, like 1 we look up and we see the clock and it's 11:11. We always look at the clock and it's 11:11, even whenever we're not looking at the clock, right? We're not watching the time, not waiting for 11:15. So it's not like we're looking every second. We just have this natural instinct all of the sudden to look at the clock, and it's 11:11. So now when that happens, those are the beginning synchronicities. And what I'm learning is that there are layers of these synchronicities. And the more that you engage with them and look them up and catch them and process them, and the more areas that you use this process in, meaning license plates, clocks, YouTube videos, I might not talk about it in this one, we might not get up to that, but YouTube videos, even numbers, which is your numerology and certain numbers, that means most of us, now have these numbers that are associated to our awakening process. Mine is definitely number 44. It was the first one that popped up for me. And I just know I'm a 44. And actually, I can see other people, have some YouTube channels that have 44 on it. So I haven't quite figured out what the 44 means, except I was 44 when I was shock activated is the only thing I can think so far. But that's one of my numbers. It's also happens to be a degree of a planet that is doing a doozy on me right this very minute, actually. Anyway, so these numbers mean something to me. And so number 9 is another big number for a lot of us. If you are seeing a lot of 9s, a lot of 27s, a lot of 36s, some of us, 7s, and just different. 17 came up today, so different numbers. Those messages are for you. So let's go back real quick. 11:11. You look at the clock. Now you're you know why you keep seeing it? You keep seeing it because you're not getting the message. The message isn't 11:11, like, yeah, that's awakening. Yeah, 11:11, 1:11. No. What does it mean? Okay, if you're seeing that, then it doesn't just mean awakening. Typically, now I know when I get an 11:11, it's watch your thoughts. What are you thinking about right before you saw it? And it takes a minute because we have so many thoughts just running through our head, that when we see it in the beginning, and then by the time our brain can see it, have the old reaction of 11:11, that means awakening. Recall this conversation, which is how this works, or however your information is coming in that's new when you're changing your life process and pattern. There's going to be a lag. And when you saw that and you're remembering, oh crap, what was I just thinking? So then pull up the what was I just thinking, and whatever you were thinking is being manifested right in front of your eyes. So when I see 111 or 11:11 now, my first thought immediately now, because now I've changed my pattern with that visual key, that visual activation now activates a higher level. You see? And so that higher level now is what am I thinking about, because I'm manifesting. So it's your angels and your team, and especially your higher self, telling you, hey, FYI, this is what's going down. Watch what you're thinking. So that's a great example of the next step in these synchronicities. Since I have such strong and different starseed lineage, and since I now have unlocked a lot of DNA, starseed DNA, I know that I've ascended other planets before. My soul has. Not Christy in this flesh suit, my flesh onesie. Not the Christy onesie, my soul. So I realized that synchronicities, as soon as I got shocked activated, synchronicities started popping up, and I just started rolling with it. For me, that was a fast process. And so it's really been interesting and fun and exciting to get to understand these better. I've gone on complete car rides and car trips based off synchronicities and technology, and have ended up in the most amazing situations that I know were tailor-made for me. So the most important part of synchronicities, and what these synchronicities are showing us in the beginning, is to trust our intuition. A synchronicity that I had today was, my son's name is Rex. So I'm in the car and I'm leaving right after I'd called in my best possible timeline for today, which I did a little tip video on. And I leave the house and I get in the car and I look at license plates. Because that's a channel that my guides and higher self know that they can communicate with me on, because they know I look at them and they know that I get the message and I look it up and I'm investigating what that means. So license plates are a channel for me to get messages. As you open up these, so, now we've talked about clocks, now I'm talking about license plates. You start opening up these different channels. Whatever is in your reality, you can make a channel for information. License plates. So it was a yellow license plate, and I live in Texas, so we have like black and white license plates. They're really boring, but this was a yellow one, and I didn't even see what the state was. Was it New Mexico or Arizona? I don't know. It was really pretty. I wish we had yellow license plates, but anyway, it's a yellow license plate with red writing, and it had a big RXG on it. Well, my maiden name started with a G, and my son's name was basically on the sign. It was RX, so I immediately was drawn to it. And the number right before it was 017. So what I do whenever I see one now, because it's hard when you're driving, you're trying to write down the numbers, you don't want to forget, you want to look them up, and I do miss a lot of messages because of that. So now what I do is I say, okay, 017 RXG, 017 RXG. Am I supposed to look at this? And immediately I'll get the answer. So today I pulled up the number 17, 017, because that was the only numbers on it. And I'd never looked up the number 17 before. And 17 is a very spiritual number. 17 signifies the fact that you're walking on two planes. That you're walking on a plane basically in the ethers, if you want to, 3D and 5D, not to make this any more confusing and throw more terms out at you. And that was the message I needed. And I shared it with the tribe, and because I'd never looked up 17 before. So that's a great additional example of messages that are coming to you that you may not be picking up. Another way that I get messages is through technology. And they're they're by far the most amazing ones, because then you have access to so much information. Quantum energy is what makes this happen. Your higher self wants, now that we're in this new energy where we are manifesting our own reality and we're calling in our highest timelines, and we've blended some of our fractals to, fractaled selves together, then we're picking up on way more information and we're seeing additional synchronicities. Our higher self is delivering these synchronicities to us. They're breadcrumbs following a trail. When you're in the flow of life and of the energy, then this quantum entanglement, and quantum meaning love. So what do you love? Well, when I first woke up, to be honest, I didn't know what I loved. I had no idea. I'm still figuring it out, because I was so asleep in 3D, and I'm such a Libra, and I was taking care of other people. I lose myself in relationships. I've worked through a lot of crap. I still have crap to work on. But, our higher self will show us a trail when we get into that flow. And it's through our synchronicities. It's how we know we're on the right path. So what happened with me was, when I woke up, I got the heck out of town for a couple of days, because I was like, what just happened, right? You go through that original process where you're like planting crystals in your backyard and doing, not even halfway knowing you're in your body. Like if you had a shock activation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And please tell me if you've had a shock activation, because I really want to know what you want to talk about. And I said, hey, I need some music and to listen to for the car ride. And I just immediately thought of Prince. And I'll do some more videos on Prince, but this isn't about Prince. This is about me falling in love with an artist, basically falling in love with his music and realizing he's speaking to us through his music, and was the whole time, but we didn't know then. Now we know. So in the beginning, I was listening to Prince all the time. There's so much music, and it was all talking to me. And so when I was on YouTube, it got to where Prince would just pop up. So what I did is I went and followed different people, and did this instinctively, but now I understand what my soul was doing. What it was doing was opening up channels for Prince to communicate. And trust me, because I give Prince that attention, and because his messages resonate and it's keeping me on my path, he is sending us messages all the time. So through these different people that loved Prince's music, that are on YouTube, and so they know his songs, because I didn't. I'd only listened to like 3 in my life until this last May. And so they get an intuition on what music they want to post, and that intuition is coming from the other realms. Your higher self even might not be Prince. You could put your higher self there in this analogy instead of Prince following me. So you're sending, Prince is sending, whoever's sending that message to you through these YouTubers, And then these Prince songs will pop up and it'll be a synchronicity of some sort. It'll be exactly what you just talked about. Or you might have called his name and he sent you a song. Try it. It's pretty cool. But through Prince is how I would click on Prince video, and you know how you watch on YouTube, like my video's up here, and then you'll have all these other videos down here. Well, what I started noticing, because I was consciously paying attention, is a song would have popped up and caught my attention, but as that phase was kind of ending, and you know, I still listened to his music, but I wasn't infatuated like I was at that particular point in the ascension process, as I was making new perceptions and as I was opening my mind to these new ways of communicating, that these other people started popping up. So Cryon was a big one for me, still is. It's explains a lot of very high level information, and so a lot of messages come to me. I know that I needed my mission through Cryon, but I wouldn't have found Cryon if it wouldn't have popped up under Prince. So then I started listening to Cryon. Well, then I started noticing, you know, I'd look at the Cryon messages, and there'd be 4 or 5 underneath there, and I'd say, okay, I can only really watch one. So which one is meant for me? And I'd start looking at the numbers of how many views, because those numbers were calling me to read them. So then I started realizing that there's my numbers, remember, number 9, number 44, were popping up on these videos. You know, there's 444 views, or there's 27 subscribers, or whatever, my number, 9, 36, 360, my numbers were popping up. And then I would just see that, and something inside me would go, that's your message. I'd listen to the message, and it was exactly what I needed to hear. It was the questions I was answering. Sometimes you get ceremonies. Sometimes, you know, you ask for the healing for today, and it pops up. It's because it finds you through the channels that you put out. Another thing with the Cryon videos that I always know which ones I'm supposed to watch is, if y'all are following my Facebook page at Cosmic Christy, I'm doing a better job of posting some of these synchronicities and cloud pictures and stuff I see. So I'm always taking pictures of clouds, and I'm not kidding you. Cryon can have the same damn picture that I just took today, and it's freaking big right there on the cover, and I know, okay, Christy, you're supposed to watch this. The whole thing about synchronicities is the more that you trust your intuition, the more that you open up these channels, the more information you receive in all types of different ways. One more thing, and we're going to close up, and this is about numbers. So not just 111, right? I have received scientific matrix decoding information from pulling a number off a truck driving down a highway. And I don't even remember exactly the truck and what it was. I do have it in my pictures somewhere, because I've been documenting this stuff as much as possible, and as soon as humanly possible, I'm going to get, you know, these out there so you can see them in all different forms. But I pulled this number off the truck, and it was a series of 3s. It was a certain amount. When you see these numbers and they call you to look them up, look them up. And you don't need to put angel number anymore, because if you're watching this channel, then you know that we've got all types of angels and beings, and, you know, under source, and we are one with everything. The angel numbers are good to start out in the beginning, because you don't want to blow your mind too much, right? I mean, you want to be talking about your manifesting, are you on your mission, and that gets you through a certain point. But then at the next stage, your information that's coming to you can get really, really specific to your mission. And so, you know, this series of threes was information that came to me that I've had for 3 months that, guess what, didn't find its owner till today. And what do I mean by that is I knew that wasn't my message, but I knew intuitively that it was a message, and I knew it was important. It was scientific information about decoding the matrix, and extremely scientific, so that's not my thing. I just saved it, and there's this person that I've been helping, and he's been helping me. That's how it works, right? Like, I'm good at the healing side, he's good at the mental side, but, you know, so we're helping each other in a lot of ways. But he's very scientific, and he's into Tesla and the 369, same thing as me, but he's on a different scientific information processing level when it comes to reading text. So I knew that's his, and sure enough, I send it to him, and he comes back with me and tells me, yeah, that's how you skip through the fourth dimension. It's building yada yada yada. Like, wow. So that was his message. So I'm to the point in my journey where, because of the channels in my synchronicities, and because I connect with so many people, because that's part of my mission for me personally, is I'm getting messages for other people. So even if messages come in and you're not exactly sure what they mean, but you feel like it's important, document it. Man, that could be the timeline that you're fixing to walk into. It might not make sense right now, but write it down, take a screenshot, take a picture, document it, and I promise you, at some point, that information is going to come back up on your journey. So trust yourself, and I hope that helps some. I've got some more information on synchronicities too, but I'm going to make these videos no more than 23 minutes, all right? So can I get a hoot hoot? Thank you, Galactic Travelers. I just sent you all golden rays of light. Mwah. Talk to you soon.